I'm Bargain Bluebird and welcome to my channel. It's Tiered Tray Tuesday and today I am collaborating with Manji Housewife, and you're going to want to check out her video, which I will have linked below, and also her channel. She's a very creative DIYer and you will not be disappointed in checking out what she has for you today. So let's go ahead and get into DIY number one. For this DIY we are using Sculpey polymer clay. This clay is the type that you bake in the oven. I halved it to make 2 regular size marshmallows, and you just kind of play with it here in your hands and kind of roll it. Now, I've never done this before. This is a brand new DIY for me. So it does take some practice and getting used to, and that's what I'm doing here. And these are my first 2, and then I did 2 others after because I bought 2 packages of the Sculpey clay. And it does take, you're rolling it, and then you're kind of like taking your palm and you're gonna like mash it down. So once you get it in the shape of a marshmallow, you're gonna take that cornstarch there and you're gonna roll it in the cornstarch, and that's gonna give it a texture, and you're gonna bake it that way. And it gives it a texture like a marshmallow to your piece. So I'm gonna go ahead and start talking about baking it because this is a little complicated. There was lots of different things on YouTube and on the internet, and some people said that you should bake it lower and longer, and you definitely don't want to burn it. So the first method that I tried was I baked it at the 275 that it recommends, and I only baked it for 20 minutes, and then I turned the oven off and left it in the oven until 30 minutes, so 10 extra minutes cooling in the oven. And this is the first method that I used. And because I was afraid of doing it too long that I might burn it, it says for every 1/4 of an inch you should cook it, or bake it, I should say, 15 minutes. So that's pretty long for these. So I put it at 275. You want to put parchment paper down, and you're going to put it in, and I'm measuring it here, and mine's about 1 inch. So it really should be about an hour, but I'm going to bake my first batch shorter. So 20 minutes in, turn it off, and then let it set for 10 minutes. So here's how it looks after coming out of the oven, and it's hot. Still kind of hot. I don't want to touch it yet, but basically I'm gonna see if I think that has worked. I have 2 others that I've done, and I'm gonna bake them at the time that Sculpey says to bake them, and then we'll see how those turn out. Okay. You can see that. 275 for 15 minutes per 1/4 of an inch. This second set we're going to try to do according to what they say. And I'm actually going to go with the width along the top, not vertical but horizontal. And then I'm going to just keep checking it because I don't want to, obviously I don't want to burn it. So this is going to make it like an hour because it's like 1 inch across the top. So I don't know. I'm going to do it according to the directions, but I am going to keep my eye on it because you don't want it to burn, and everybody's oven is different. And I do not have an oven thermometer. They recommend an oven thermometer, and I do not have one. So I have to wing it a little bit here. Okay, this is the first set. It's been about a half an hour since I took it out of the oven, and I baked it for 20 minutes, and then I turned the oven off and let it sit in there for 10 minutes. And then I let it sit here for another 30 in order to let it cool down. And it's cooled down enough, so I'm gonna go ahead and brush the cornstarch off now. They actually feel pretty cured. It says that it cures after 15 minutes, so it feels pretty hard to me. I don't really know if I need to do the other ones much longer. I don't know. I'm going to keep an eye on it. After half an hour, I'm definitely going to take a look at it. And then this, I just have these on a, once they cooled, I used some toothpicks and I moved them from the pan, the sheet pan, to this paper plate, and then underneath the paper plate I have a pot holder. I think my second ones look a little bit more like marshmallows. I don't know. It's not bad for my first attempt, but Always room for improvement. I think the one on the left looks better than the one on the right. Okay, my second two here, they haven't burned. At least I can't see that. It doesn't look like they have. I did what Sculpey said, just like I said, at 275. I baked it for the 20 minutes like I did the other two, and then I kept checking it every 5 minutes. So I baked it for, I didn't bake it for the full hour. I baked it for 55 minutes. I took it out 5 minutes shy. But, okay, so I'm gonna wait for this to cool and we're gonna see what the difference is. I know that a polymer clay expert would probably know the difference. It does say that it cures after 15 minutes. So, I don't know. I baked one shorter, I baked one longer, so we'll see. Okay, so these do seem to be stronger. So these went in, these were the ones that went in for 55 minutes. I also think I made them a little bit better because they were the second ones. Okay, so I already started to paint little faces on my first ones here. And I have to put the little white dots in the middle. And I just went and Googled the Kawaii faces for marshmallows, and you just pick a style you want and mimic it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the second ones for you here on camera. And then I got this little tool at the Dollar Tree today. I was so happy to see that they had it. It's like this little tool, you just use it with the paint to make the little faces. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one, and then you have to let them dry, and then I'm gonna go back and dot the little eyes, their eyes with a white on the inside, and hopefully I will get it straight and they won't be cross-eyed. I gave this one a little bit different mouth, and then I did mess it up just a little bit, and then this one I gave some eyelashes. So let them dry, like I said, and then I'll come back and do the white dots. I think I'm gonna actually start with the other two, because these two have been painted more recently. I think I can do these two. These are my two original ones that I did. And then I'm gonna take, like, this tool has a larger end. I don't know if you can see, this has a larger end and it has a tinier end. And so I'm gonna use the tinier end, and I'm actually gonna dot some of this off. I was looking at those marshmallow mugs, you know, and I just decided to do this instead. So it was cheaper, it was only like $5. I don't know. All in all, I'm happy with it. All right, moving on. We're going to do a really simple and easy one right now. We're just going to Mod Podge these labels onto these jars. And I do have a link below for these printables, or it's one printable. It's on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. I did make these labels using Canva, and so I'll link that below for you in case you're interested in using them. Let's check out DIY number 3. All right, we're going to use these blocks from the Dollar Tree. I have 2 of them. And we're going to go ahead and paint them in burgundy. This is apple barrel paint. And now I'm taking folk art paint in white, and I'm just dabbing it around the edges. You're going to want to take the paint and kind of dab some of it off a little bit. And I'm going around each edge of each side and just outlining it. Next, I'm taking a paint pen and I'm making snowflakes. Now, I debated getting out my Cricut and making it real nice with my Cricut, and I just decided to freehand it in the long run. I just didn't feel like getting out my Cricut for this. So, you know, it has kind of an homespun look to it. Some of them are straight and some of them are crooked, and some of them are brighter than others. Okay, moving on to DIY number 4. So I have this house. This is from Michael's. I got it for $3 clearance. I thought it would make a great gingerbread house. All right, so I took the house and I painted it in burnt umber and white. I mixed it about half and half. And then I took some puffy paint that I got at Michael's, and this makes a great faux icing for a gingerbread house. And this is the first time I'm doing this. I've never done this before. So my gingerbread house is very basic. I didn't want to get too fancy with it. And I'm just kind of doing some basic painting here. But all in all, it is cute. I did like the way it turned out, but if you didn't know that you could use puffy paint for this, you can. You do have to let it set a while. Like I did one part of this and then I did another part of it. So I let this set for a couple of days. I mean, even after one day, it still felt a little wet in places. So I let it set for a couple days, and then I went back and I did this last part of it here. So I didn't have any trouble making the lattices on the other side, but when I got to this side that had the chimney on it, I was like, oh, wait a minute. So I do kind of mess this up a little bit here, but I don't know, it's going to be tucked kind of in the back of my tray, so you won't be able to see too much of that. And I just realized that I didn't do a front shot of this when it was all done, because I was doing several things, multitasking. So anyways, you'll see it when it's on the tray. Thank you so much for watching today. Don't forget to check out Manji Housewife's video, linked below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.